Hey guys, it is a me again. Happy New Year. Well, we are in the second week. So, when do we stop saying Happy New Year? I don't know. But I'm sitting here on my couch and watching, okay. So, this weekend I watched Stranger Things cuz love this show down. And because I'm mental, I started watching it from the start. I watched the series finale all in one sitting. Yes, it was that good. To me, it was that good that I could not stop watching it. But then I said, well, let me watch season one. And now I'm in season two. So that's how my weekend has been going. It's been a very relaxing weekend because this is the very first weekend since I would say mid December that I've done absolutely nothing. My weekends have not been mine. So I have been enjoying this weekend to the utmost. I am actually going to cook something tonight. I'm feeling like some chicken tortilla soup. I think that's what I'm going to fix. I think I have everything for it. But yeah. So that's what I'm going to fix. And I'm going to enjoy this day. It's dark outside. It's not raining or anything, but the sun's not out. So it's dark outside and it's just cold and it's soup weather. So that's what I'm fix. And I just wanted to come up here real quick. You know, I got to drop a word on you for something that I have been dealing with. Well, I haven't been dealing with it too much because um, all my life it's never been a problem to walk away from people. I don't have a problem with that. Men, maybe in the past, but for the most part, walking away from people is not a problem for me, especially in 2026. It's totally not a problem. So, as you know, I am on a dating journey where I have been meeting new people. I've been meeting new people, and I have not gone out on a date in 2026 yet. It's only the second week. Tilting my hat. But so I haven't gone out on a date this year, but last year and leading up to this year, I have been, talking to different folks. And one of the things I do is share my YouTube channel. And it's not for them to, it's not for the clicks and views. It is strictly for them to see, it's strictly for them to see like my relationship with God and how deep I am into this thing. This is not, I don't know if any of you are on dating sites, but I've talked about this before, but there are things that you can click. Like you can click that you are Catholic or Christian or spiritual. A lot of people nowadays they pick spiritual, and it's not because they're not Christian, it's not because they don't believe, it's just that for whatever reason their relationship with God, or let's go further and say the church, um, is not where it where it should be for them to check Christian. And when people don't click that box, it doesn't even necessarily have to do with their relationship with God. It has to do with their relationship with something they've been through, or like church, for instance. A lot of people do not trust the church. And I'm not getting into that topic, but yet. But a lot of people, because they do not trust the church and they have their own imperfections that they're dealing with, they don't check that box because they feel as if, oh, well, I'm not this. I am not Christian, but I have this belief. And I think that is, I don't judge because just like they've been through something, I've been through something. I've seen a lot. I've done a lot. I have experienced a lot in my lifetime. Um, I often tell people, well, I don't often tell people, but I do say I could never run for office because you don't want to know. But I feel as if people think that being a Christian, you have to be perfect. You have to walk that fine line of I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do, I have to, I can't do this, I can't do that. And that is the biggest misconception of being a Christian. Now, are there certain things that we should and should not be doing? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I just feel that a lot of people have a misconception about what it is to be a Christian. And there is something that I always tell people, that I am not perfect. You are not perfect. So why are we trying to act like we need to be perfect people and we always have to be right, or we always have to we want to strive to live correctly, yes. Are we going to do that? No. Is that okay? Yes, it is. I don't know where this came from, that in order to be a Christian you have to be perfect. And you can't have fun and you can't do like so I will say this. There are things in my life that I used to do that I will not do now. Because I know the difference. I know the difference from right and wrong, number one. But number two is I know I'm not perfect, but I want to be as close to it as possible. But I know I will never. I know I will never get to that place because I'm human. Humans make mistakes. Am I going to purposely do stuff that is not right? No, that's not me anymore. Because I did things in my past that I knew full well was not right, and I did it anyway. But it's all about thinking before you act now. It's all about being around the right people. It's all about just being conscious of what you're doing and don't do it. Are you going to get it right every time? Absolutely not. You're not. You're just not. Because you are not perfect. You are human. God knows that we are going to make mistakes, but God also knows our hearts. And it's also a thing of repenting. Not saying lean back, lean on that all the time, but that is something that we should be doing. And I kind of went off on a tangent, and I'm going to loop this back around. But what I was trying to get in. So I was sitting here going through my Facebook dating. And yes, I'm on that thing. And it's for play, but it's real too. I have real conversations up there sometimes. But on Facebook dating, and was talking to this guy, and I introduced my YouTube channel to him. Number one, let's not FaceTime, please. You can see what I look like raw and with makeup on my channel. Don't just out of the blue FaceTime me. But anyway, so talking to this guy, gave him my YouTube channel. He checked it out. Never heard from him again. Pardon. But you know what? That's actually not the first time that's happened. So, not surprised. So today I'm going to talk about something that is very real in my life. And I know a lot of people struggle with this too, and you just don't talk about it. Staying true to what you believe in, even when it costs you friendships, relationships, or potential partners. That's what we're going to talk about today. Long story short. All right, so when you start truly walking with God, not just saying you believe but actually living it, things change. What? I don't know how this ended up in my hand again. Okay. So, things change. They truly do. So, people change, relationships can change. Over the last year or so, I have experienced that firsthand. I started really diving into this YouTube channel a year ago in March. I started filming content. But before then, it started, well, it actually started before then. It started the year prior, September of 2023. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it started September. Let's say 2 years I've been doing this. So, over the last year, I have experienced this specifically. Friends that I have, they've drifted away. Dating, even though dating is complicated anyway, dating has become a little more complicated. People assume things about me based on what I posted, what I say, how I say it sometimes. So that's what I've been dealing with. And I've come to terms with that I answer to no one but God. And if we're being obedient to Him, that is going to cost us some things. People being one of them. And what I say is, so be it. So today we're talking about what it means to actually stay true to your faith. Why it can cost you people. How to navigate dating and friendships when faith matters to you. And what to do when you're faced with this situation. If this resonates with you, stay with me and pass it along to somebody else that may be going through the same thing as well. And if it doesn't yet, it might one day. So let's start with this question. What does it mean to actually stay true to your faith? Like I said before, staying true to my faith does not mean that I'm perfect. I do not judge others, because I got my own stuff going on. I got my own stuff going on and I have my own past. I'm not trying to convert anyone to agree to what I think or what I do, or that my whole personality is church or scripture. Even though I will say this, when I first started this and I started losing friends, I was like, they probably think I'm some Bible thumping woman. Like, I don't know what kind of church you guys grew up in, but I went to a Baptist church, or I go to a Baptist church. And I always saw these Bible toting women just like not quite like Aunt Esther, but like Aunt Esther. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is a word. But I had went, growing into my faith and scripture, you know, that is so I'm not like that. However, I do relate everything back to a scripture. I relate everything back to the scripture, a scripture. I relate everything back to God. That is my foundation. That is me. Do I go toting and just yelling it from the rooftops? No. Could that be me one day? It may be. I don't know where God's gonna lead me, but to try to say that I am pushing or I have an agenda or something like that, that is a misconception of a lot of people that do not live in their truth. It is that so you don't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? In order to get the word out, you really don't have to be that way. And that's not me. I am not here to try to get anybody to come on over to the side, to the side with me. Frankly, when I have my friends and anybody that I am talking to, they're already there. That's their mindset already. That's their mindset already. I'm not doing anything. And we can sit and have conversation about God. I talk to my friends all the time about God. Some of my friends I talk to about God, and they're already there. It's not something that I have to, you know, say, well, why don't you do this and this? I surround myself with people that are like minded. I really do. Now, if you don't believe and you want to have a conversation, I'm open to it. Let's do it. I'm all for it. It's so funny that one time I was talking to this one guy who his post said spiritual. So we were talking, and one thing I do ask is about your religious beliefs, and I want to make sure that we are equally yoked. So we started talking about God, and he had put spiritual. Again, I don't judge because everybody has their own walk, and he had their own walk, his own walk, and there was a reason why he chose spiritual, which that's typically the case. So I was listening to him, but when he said spiritual, he was talking like he didn't believe, because we started talking about the Bible, and he was like he didn't believe in the Bible, and I said, "Whoa, red flag." And right then and there, I was like, "Okay, this may not work." But he was saying he didn't believe in the Bible, and that he said something about He said something to the effect of, it's just a bunch of words and it's trying to tell people how to live. And do you go, um he said something like, do you go believing everything you read as the truth and how you should do things? And I said, okay. I said, well, your job as a mechanic, I said, your job depends on following instructions on how to do something, right? I said, you went to, he didn't, he went to trade school to be this mechanic. I said, you had manuals, you had books that you followed, you had, all sorts of tools that you, you could use in order to A, pass the course, and B, become said mechanic. I said, you believe those words, right? I said, what? So you trying to tell me that you would be, and he also said it was man-made words, which I've heard that argument a million times, but I said, you follow that manual. I said, you followed the manual, you use it daily, or you use what you got from it daily. Has that steered you wrong? Was that man made? Every argument he had for me, I had something for it. And it's like, we put so much stake into man. It's ridiculous. We put so much stake into the Bible's a fake, the Bible's a fraud, this and this and this. And I'm just like, what are we talking about? Everything he had to say, I got rid of it. I said, what are we really talking about right now? God is central to my life. It means my values are shaped by Him. My decisions are filtered through prayer. My peace comes from Him. My identity is rooted in God. And yes, I'm different. I'm different now. I'm different. And that is okay. That is okay. You are not going to be for everybody. And when you're dating or meeting these people, you have to be able to filter that. You're not going to be for everybody. It was so hard for me to come to terms with that. And not even on a religious level, but on a level of, but I like him. We're so good together, and we should be together and all this. And if he doesn't share the same thing, you everybody's not gonna like you. It's not, and I would rather just than to stay in something that it's lopsided. That's just that. Transformation means change. And change often makes people uncomfortable. Some people know the old version of you, the quieter version, the version that blended in more, the version that didn't post scripture, the version that didn't set boundaries. That's never been me, so. But that might be you. And when God transforms you, you cannot pretend that you're the same way. You just can't. And the one thing that I have to accept is that not everyone that knew the old you will recognize or accept the new you. Well, why does choosing God sometimes cost you friends? Why does it complicate dating? Why does it create distance? Your light exposes what some people are not ready to face right now. And that's okay. This doesn't mean that people are bad. It means that your obedience can highlight areas that people have not healed from yet, or addressed, or surrendered yet. Your peace can make unrest visible. Your boundaries can feel like rejection to them. Your faith, and this is a big one, your faith can feel like judgment to people, even when it's not. And a big thing with me, and this is another thing, not everyone is meant to go where God is taking you. There is a verse that really stands out to me when I think about this right now. Can two walk together unless they are agreed? Some people are seasonal, and boy, do I know that for a fact. Some people are seasonal. Some people are transitional. Some people were simply not meant for your next chapter. And that includes friends, that includes romantic partners, people who you like, but they just don't align with your values. And let's be clear on this. It does not mean that they're bad people. It just means that they're not your people. And also, growth naturally creates separation. When God elevates your thinking, that creates standards. Your standards change. And not everyone is willing and able to grow with you. All right, so let's talk about dating. Jeez. So, I notice when I start talking to people, one of two things happen. They assume that because I'm deep in my faith, that that's all of who I am. Or they feel like that I'm going to in some way push religion on them. And let me be clear about this. My faith is not my entire personality, but it is a core part of who I am. I still laugh. I still enjoy life. I still have depth. I still have humor. Sometimes dark humor. But I still have humor. I have layers to me. There are things about me that I am still working out. I'm the same, but I'm not. I am the same, but I'm not. It's kind of cool. But I will say this, God is non-negotiable with. The Bible does talk about being equally yoked. In 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. Now let me say this very clearly and gently. Being equally yoked does not mean that that person has to be at the same place as me. My journey is my journey. But it does mean that there is respect, there is openness, there is shared direction. I don't judge men that don't share my faith. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's relationship with church, everybody's relationship with God is shaped by their own experiences. And I understand that. But I have learned this. Just because I don't judge you does not mean that I should choose you. And that's okay. I've had people see my Instagram or Facebook, and it's been mixed. I've had people think that I've changed. She's too religious now. She's not the same person. And my response to this is simple. You're right, I'm not the same. And I don't want to be. When God changes you, you're not supposed to be the same. Some people love you because you're easier for them to understand. The old you did not challenge them. The old you fit comfortably into their lives. But the new you, The new you has boundaries, which I always said that I had. The new you has convictions. The new you may have peace that they just simply do not understand. And over the last year, I have watched people leave my life. I have had to grieve that. I've had to sit with that. And I had to pray through that. But I also learned this: God removes people to protect what He's building inside of you. So, what do you do when staying true to God costs you people that you really do care about in your life? Number one, I would say to release that guilt. You are not wrong for choosing God. You are not wrong for having standards. You are not wrong for growing. And I would say the second thing is stop explaining yourself. Not everyone deserves an explanation. I think I said that I know I said it in my series, my New Year series. Everybody does not need an explanation from you. Not everyone will understand your obedience, and that is okay. Another thing I would say is to trust God's pruning process. I learned a new word yesterday. In John chapter 15, verse 2, he says, He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit. Pruning hurts, but pruning is very necessary for growth. The fourth thing I would say is stay anchored in who you answer to. At the end of the day, I answer to God. No one else but God. Not friends, not social media, not potential partners. And when you truly settle that within your spirit, peace will follow that. So if you're watching this and you feel lonely in your walk, if you feel misunderstood, if you've lost people along the way, I want you to hear this. Everyone who is in your life is not meant to stay. Everyone who likes you is not for you. And everyone who leaves is not a loss. Sometimes it's protection. Sometimes it's preparation. Sometimes it's God making room for what's next. Stay true, stay obedient, and stay anchored. Because what God has for you will never require you to betray Him in order to get it. I have been asked this before. I do wear these rubber bracelets every day. I did get this from, I wouldn't say ex-friend of mine, but I did get this from a guy that I used to talk to. And they always have different sayings on them. And one of the ones that I always wear is this one that says, choose you every time. And this is what I love to live by. I choose me every day. I do not stray from this because at the end of the day, all I have is me. And all I have is God. Yes, I have the most beautiful family. I have wonderful, amazing friends. But at the end of each day, it's just me and it's God. That's it. So choose you every time. That is all. I do have different bracelets too that say different things, but like this one says, today is your day. I just felt like today was a good day. So, but yeah, so just if you like this video, comment, like it, pass it on. Please pass it on to someone else who may be struggling with this same thing. I would never let you go astray on this advice because I am living it right now. Like I said, over the last year, I have felt my friend group changing. Like, I have my core people that I'm down with, will always be down with. But there are people that just are not in my life anymore. And that's okay. And it's not that we didn't have fun before and I didn't like them. And I mean, we're still cool, but to call them my, you know, to say that we're as close as we once were, we're not. We're not at all. And that's fine. People do grow apart. They grow apart. And it's largely because, well, with me anyway, it's largely because I'm changing. I am changing. And I'm loving that. I don't want to be the same Toya I was 2 years ago, a year ago. That's not me. And again, I will say, God ain't done with me yet. I still got a long way to go. Like, I have things about me that need to change some more. But I am loving the woman that I am becoming. It's amazing. It's amazing how much I've changed. Even the other day, like, I was tested and I know I passed the test because the old Toya, where are my glasses? The old Toya. But that's neither here nor there. I'll make another video about that. But like, I'm changing and I'm loving it, and it's okay if there are people that won't come along with me. Hopefully they will one day, but right now there are some people that I left behind, and that's okay. Dating is difficult, but I'm okay. I'm good. I'm cool. I would rather be by myself than to be with the wrong person. I'm a cool person to hang out with. I think so. I enjoy my company. But again, you're not for everybody. So anyway. So if you like this video, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Always remember this. You were given this life because you were strong enough to live it. I love you, and goodbye.